be changed or doing differently. Have you seen improvement over the last year or two in the way things have been done?
Well, I've been here 6 months, but I'll try to speak on behalf of the office in general. I think
qualified your answer already. Okay.
I think that you know, I came into the job kind of at the tail end of the preliminary work SBA had done on the Recovery Act and just the big increase in those programs. And I know from speaking to my auditors and working on it when I got there in October, we were really heartened by the amount of thought and work that went into trying to implement these programs and kind of institute a risk management plan on these types of things, as opposed to kind of doing it very quickly and dealing with the aftermath afterwards. I am very heartened by by Administrator Mills' statement that many times that she's very serious about suspension, debarment, and enforcement. I do think that that's something that SBA has been lacking in, be it because of a lack of resources or just kind of in their more traditional role as an advocacy organization almost. I do think that that's somewhere they've been lacking. I'm hopeful that we continue to work together and we do get a stronger suspension and debarment program in SBA. We're not there yet. I hope we see some suspensions and debarments. Traditionally, it's been very hard to get anybody debarred from a SBA program unless there's been a conviction. And that's really not what the law is. And I think it's important to start really kicking people out of the program before they're going to jail. And, you know, I have a commitment from the administrator that she's going to work with us on that. And, you know, I think it's going to be very telling in the next several months whether we can really get that done. Suspension and debarment is a lengthy process, but the proof will be in the pudding pretty soon on this.
Okay, great. You mentioned something a while ago about loan agent fraud. Can you explain that just a little bit for me, please?
Yes, our criminal investigators in the last several years have seen a really kind of distressing trend of very complex fraud schemes out there. Not the traditional business owner who might be falsifying an equity injection to get a loan for his own personal benefit or just because he can't quite make it. We are seeing active conspiracies among people like loan agents where they are packaging loans and taking part in falsifying documents, and it's not just one SBA loan and it's certainly not just one government loan.
So the loan originator himself is a part, or herself, is a part of the scheme to defraud the government or get people monies who don't really have or shouldn't be eligible for them.
Exactly. As I mentioned in my testimony, in the last 10 years, just talking about cases where we've been able to pursue criminal action, we're talking about loans of $250 million where one of the bad actors is a loan agent who is actively involved in perpetuating the fraud. And that's why, you know, one of the management challenges for the agency has been it's very hard to track these loan agents. It's very hard, and it would be fantastic to be able to go to the database and start, you know, when you can see a trend, you can stop this stuff a lot sooner. And right now we don't have that capability. And so again, in our 10 agency management challenges, tracking loan agents and really keeping, and really monitoring that and trying to figure out both where the bad actors are and where just the bad loan agents who are doing bad loans are is crucial. It's really crucial. So
very good, Administrator Mills. What do you see as the environment out there right now? Do you see the continued increased demand for SBA loans? Is it tapering off? Do you see the economy? How's your office interacting with everybody? What do you see? You're on the front line.
Yes. We are now operating at a very high level. We put about $26 billion into the hands of small business through the Recovery Act due to the 90% guarantees and the fee reductions. So we are at above our 2007-2008 levels. We have completely come back at the SBA. But the total environment out there is not back. There is still a problem on access to capital with small businesses, and it comes in a series of pockets. There are all kinds of underserved markets that are being left behind in the recovery. There are larger loans that aren't being made. There's working capital lines. There's commercial real estate issues. And what we have done is identify those gaps and then design our small business jobs bill requests before Congress to meet each of these gaps.
Time is expired.
Thank you,
Madam
ma'am.
Chair, can I interject real quick? To dovetail on what Representative Luetkemeyer said and what I was talking about too, as far as status revoked of some of those firms, could we get a list of the last 5 years, the firms or your lending partners whose status you have revoked?
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
Mr. Nye.